What advice your parents gave you turned out to be complete bullshit. Get into the best college you can. We'll figure out how to pay for it. Guess who has a ton of student loan debt now? Yeah, my mom was adamant that she'd pay at least the first year of college. Then she saw the bill and said she'd pay the first semester. Then she'd pay books. Then she'd only pay for one book, etc. She ended up not paying anything and I spent my first year at a college way out of my financial range. Had to transfer to a community college and try not to cry as I paid off the bills from the previous year. Clean plate club and you'll grow up to be strong and healthy. She forgot to mention fat. Thanks mom. I feel this. My mother used to continually put extra food on my plate without asking and my dad wouldn't let me leave the table until I'd eaten it all. Sometimes the standoff went on for hours. Now my mother complains about my weight. If you study for the final year of high school, you'll never have to study for the rest of your life. I think this is very India specific advice. Oh, boy were they wrong. They say that before every exam. Just get good grades in this one. The rest is all a cakewalk. You just have to go talk to the manager. No, they'll tell me to apply online and probably think I'm stupid for not knowing to apply online. Because literally every job expects you to apply online. I guarantee you if I went in there and asked to speak with the manager I'd get hired. You just have to show initiative. You have 30 years of industry experience at a well-known firm at the management level. Initiative is not the reason you're getting hired. It's because I have 6 months of experience and you have 30 years. I guarantee you if I emailed the director of HR, I would get hired. Yes, because you're a senior employee, not a 22-year-old begging for a job. You'll get a job. You just need to want it and work harder. Maybe actually go out and look for a job instead of sitting on the internet all day. Holy shit, shut the duck up. I've been mindlessly filling applications for 6 straight hours and I've been doing this for weeks and I've gotten 3 replies and they were all telling me I didn't get the job. There were 3 billion less people on earth when you got a job and the internet barely existed and people had more money to hire because that was before your generation decided to duck the economy and make healthcare, housing, and education insanely expensive. Rant over. I have a job that I love now, but holy shit that was annoying. Anything about dating a girls, although I always knew it was bullshit. My dad hates women, along with people of color, but that's another story. And my mom thinks all women are stupid, weak, and materialistic. I was getting my girlfriend a whiteboard because she liked to doodle and it would be a cute gift. My parents flipped shit, telling me that was the dumbest gift ever and that she would break up with me. So I got her a candle instead. She would later tell me a whiteboard was a fine gift and I later got her one that we both enjoyed. We dated for 5 years and my mom kept hammering into me that my GF was gonna cheat on me all because I haven't bought her jewelry yet. From then on, I kept my dating life private from my pathetic family. Ignore bullies. That's the worst kind of advice one could give to kids. Bullies don't want attention. They want to cause damage. Trying to ignore them only give them more power. They feel like they can do whatever they want without any repercussion. In my case, a shy female. The only thing that stopped my males, always males, bullies was me punching them in the face. Then their poorly developed brain realized I want the easy prey they believed I was and stopped bullying me. I'm not proud of this, but I had to defend myself. Since family and teachers weren't unable to help me in the best case, or brushed off the situation as unimportant in the worst. This works for adults too. Submissive people get used and abused. Teaching a young kid that they won't receive any help when they're threatened, to lower their head and pretending nothing is happening, will turn them into weak adults. Teach kids how to defend themselves. Damn it. I grew up in one of those batshit crazy organic vegan non-GMO households. My mother used to always say that GMOs are actually government controlled molecular robots that are used to control us. She used to also say that all gays have AIDS. Duck you mom. I am now an extremely gay bio student working with molecular robots that can save lives. There ain't nothing open after midnight but bars and girls' legs. I never could find any of those girls. My dad, a Teamster, warned me not to use my GI Bill on college. Instead, I should go out and get a good union job where I'll have a pension. Otherwise, any job I ever have, they could just fire me for no reason. Thankfully, I ignored him and got my bachelor's in electrical engineering. I've been working steadily now for about 20 years and have a very large amount saved for retirement. Work doing what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I do love what I do, but it's still ducking hard work. I'm in the craft beer industry. I don't drink anymore. University will be the best time of your life. Hell ducking no. Being isolated away from your support networks and friends while having severe mental issues is not fun. University is a breeding ground for stress and burnout, anxiety and depression. It's the first time many of us have lived away from home and we haven't got a clue how to take care of ourselves. Sure, there are fun parts, but it's ducking hard too. You'll be empty and sad if you cut one of your parents out of your life. When I went away to college, I felt a gaping emptiness. That emptiness was family, and you'll feel it too. Wrong on all counts, mom, and good riddance. What was wrong with your parents? What wasn't wrong with them? Seriously, both were abusive, unfit to raise children, and more than a little narcissistic. When working at a shitty warehouse job unloading 60-pound boxes from trucks all day, I hurt myself unloading one day and my parents kept telling me it doesn't matter. Just keep working. Stay at that job, it only matters that you work, not what you do. I hated my life for years. I didn't know why. I was just never happy, unfulfilled, felt no life purpose. I was treated like shit for being white by openly racist bosses, and harassed at work all day every day. Then one day I found my passion, building websites. I got an internship at an advertising agency, and 3 months later I was hired with less hours and making less money, but I felt ask me anything. I went from dreading sleeping at night because I knew I had to work the next day to literally thinking about work non-stop because I was so excited. It's been 2.5 years since then and I'm honestly an entirely different person now. I'm happy. I look forward to every day and even get a bit sad when I can't make it into work. I feel like my life matters and that I'm doing something I'm proud of. I've been on cloud 9 ever since I got out of that horrible shitty job. You can feed a family on minimum wage. Haha, only if you're getting financial aid and food donations from a church. My family had built our lifestyle around being super poor. Glad I broke that cycle. Anything about how to handle a bully? I should have taken a baseball bat to that a-hole's face. I kind of did this with a hockey stick in primary school to the ducker that bullied me most days. Got told off by the local cops. Bully wasn't told off at all and he didn't change. Guess I didn't hit him hard enough. Pretty much all of it. If I listened to them, I'd be a divorced community college dropout with 3 kids working a job I hate in a town that's dying, and catering to their every whim. I'm a married, child-free engineer in a mid-sized city with absolutely no contact with my parents. Now I just have to deal with the PTSD that is my life gift from them. My mom always criticized little things I would do and say you're never going to get a boyfriend if you do it that way. Turns out that those little things were the reason my boyfriend asked me out. Good thing I'm stubborn and didn't listen to her. Edit. I would also like to mention that I came out pansexual to my parents a year before me and my boyfriend got together. She still continued to say boyfriend even though I literally had to explain to her at least 1,000,000 times that I have more options. So yeah, she's also a little salty about that, but at least my dad is chill with it. Don't ever hit back. Tell a teacher. Duck that. I was bullied relentlessly for years from about 4th grade until 8th grade. Just taking it mostly verbal, but some pushing, shoving, and people sweeping my legs out etc. Util one day, in gym class one of the worst ones shoved me into a wall and it cracked a tooth. I finally had had enough and I punched him in the face so hard I broke his nose while he was down. I kicked him in balls and in the head multiple times. Blood everywhere. I got suspended for 5 days. Totally worth it. No one ever bullied me after that. It was just that simple. You can tell me, it's okay, I won't get angry. That's something my wife also had in her youth. She told something and her parents got really angry, so I hope I'll do that better to my daughter. If you fight back, you're just playing their game. Just get a teacher. Turns out some people in authority positions just suck as people. Others actively abuse their power. Resisting, with verbal, physical, or legal force, is sometimes the only answer. Took me a long time to appreciate that. Go to school. It's an investment in your future. My student loans cost more than 2x more each month than what I make after expenses. I literally become more and more in debt with each passing month. While working full-time, I'm a lawyer. I too love paying my law school loans off while working as a junior attorney. I can't help but think I did absolutely everything I was told to do. Worked through college, clerked through law school, passed the bar first try, put the effort in at work every day, apply to better jobs constantly, and this life kinda sucks. My parents' advisors bamboozled me. Don't waste too much time on the computer. Becomes full-time software developer. Video games are a waste of time was a big one too. I now use Unity to create novel visualizations for novel satellite data. I take so much inspiration from video games to this day that now help people make better sense of scientific data. When I was a young boy first trying to figure out how to holler at the ladies, my dad, who is Mexican for context, told me that the best way to get a girl's attention was to work your way close, and in her ear whisper the phrase coochie coochie. Sounded simple enough. Did not have the intended outcome. My dad thought it was hilarious. They're teasing you because they like you. Very wrong. They bullied me because I was small and didn't fight back. It stopped when I finally snapped and threw one of them down a flight of stairs. Edit. Thank you for the silver. I got bullied a lot when I was a kid, and it was very difficult for me for a long time to differentiate between actual bullying and bro on bro ribbing. As a result, I often took my anger out on the wrong people and it stunted a bunch of my childhood friendships. I eventually got through it thanks to some good advice from a cousin, but it took way too long. Lifelong self-confidence issues as a result. Navigating that territory can be really tough. Basically, if you think they're a friend, try giving them some shit back and not just being so damn nice all the time. If they don't lash out when you do so, they're your brothers. Male friendships are really ducking weird sometimes. I'd still take it over female friendships, especially in HS. Watching what my sister sometimes went through with her friends was terrifying. That shit got dark at times. My mom once told me that men never had to apologize and that saying sorry was the woman's job. I knew instantly how bullshit it was, and it made me wonder what kind of ducking Stockholm syndrome my father gave my mom. Shave your beard before interviewing for a job. I have never been hired after interviewing with a naked face. I have never failed to be hired after interviewing with a beard. 2008 through 2011 would have been a great deal easier if I hadn't followed their advice. They're only mean to you because they like you / they're jealous. That's a great way to encourage people into shitty, abusive relationships. Also, they are mean because I'm a ducking loser with no social skills. Mum told me the pill wasn't effective if I drank alcohol. This was her way to stop me drinking underage. It worked. I choose underage sex instead. Only found out this was a lie in my 20s. I was shocked. I confronted her about it. She laughed and was proud it worked for so long. I was put on the pill at a young age by my gynecologist due to a medical condition. It doesn't matter what you major in. Just get a degree and you'll get a job easily. I graduated in the middle of the recession. Don't worry about having a plan financially. Everything will work out. Edit. Maybe I should specify that this particular comment came from a conversation about why I don't feel comfortable having kids just yet. Don't take that scholarship. It's only to help the poor. Yes, mum. But we're only borderline middle class, and that scholarship would have meant I didn't have to work every weekend in uni. Real advice is, if people are handing you money, take it. You can't just apply online. Get dressed up, go to Lockheed Martin, introduce yourself, and ask if they have any available positions. I didn't do it for the record. They were just so adamant about it. Eat your carrots so you can see in the dark. Be good or Santa won't come. The carrot thing was a lie the British invented to explain why they could shoot down Nazi planes so well suddenly. Turns out they had actually just started using this new technology called radar. Play basketball and you will get taller. I'm 176 centimeters. But mom thinks I'm short anyway. Computers will never catch on. Don't waste any more of your time on them. Wasted a decade doing random temping jobs before finally working with computers. Now they harass me all the time to fix their devices. Rule 1 of IT. Never let anyone know you are IT. To follow my dreams. Now I'm in ducking jail. Too bad your dream wasn't to be a correctional officer. Don't play a brass instrument because it's for boys. Don't display your intelligence because boys find that intimidating. I can safely write I attracted more men by my intelligence than my beauty. WTF about the brass instrument? Don't buy that old VW Beetle. I love that thing. It gave me a hobby, a sense of freedom, smiles from random strangers, and a huge international social circle. People only pretend to be your friends to take advantage of you. Family is what matters. That's actually awful. It takes two hands to clap, a Confucian Chinese proverb which apparently means that if you disrupt the social order by being a victim, you probably did something to deserve it. Heard this one countless times growing up and it was always bullshit. Drop out of college. You're too depressed to make it to graduation. Wrong, I made it. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. My dad told me that you had to drink water and couldn't drink anything else like soda or Kool-Aid or whatever because your body wouldn't recognize it and you'd die of dehydration. Buy as much house as you can afford. 0. I can afford 0 house. Music can only be your hobby. You should get a real job. Started making money only with music since 17 yo. Never worked a day anywhere else and made a great career out of it. Flattery will get you nowhere. Kissing ass is actually very helpful in getting ahead. Best comment of the day. I've got some kind of ability that allows me to talk about every subject, even the worst ones, by keeping a constant poker face. Except when we are talking about blood transfusion, that freaks me out. Long story short, I once talked about prostitution and slavery with my parents. They, my mom especially, thought I was involved in some kind of dark stuff XDO and yes, the ninja footsteps scare. My friends too.